what pretty much expanded the agenda on controlling human consciousness. They need to do so many studies, and now that they've moved past those studies, they're into operational phase on society as we see it right now. The common person around you who doesn't study this stuff and doesn't know that if you believe different, if you think different, if you don't run around with fear enveloping you, and like I always say, don't run around with fear. I can't live a life running around with fear. That energetic grid of not running around with fear is felt. And when lots of us feel depression, obviously more of us feel depression, but it has to be a few numbers of us that says, wait a minute, if everybody's feeling this, then I need to be the one to step out and not do that. I need to be the one to push out the energy. And sometimes when I'm praying and meditate, that's exactly the thought, So again, as we go through this situation, we have to remember these things. This is important information. Get it out, share it. And again, as you've seen that big magnet in the thumbnail, that's because symbolic to the artificial sun I tier, which they will inactivate or activate, not inactivate, but activate later. And then it will actually power the different humans that is assimilated with Borgs and nanosensors and biocircuitry of magnetic nature. So again, everything now they're pulling out is magnetic. And the nano powder, I put out a video on the nano powder with 6G for humans, and pretty much you need to check that out. I'll have a video linked to that on the right side. So an ending equation of all of this, the comment section, I'm going to check it out real quick. So it says JW rocks. Them demons feed on our fear. No fear, guys. Definitely. This is serious. This is serious. So how serious is this to all of you right now? 236 people tuning in. Can every last one of you share this video out? Give it a like. Make sure after that you get it to the public and let them know that this is a big oncoming situation. And this is about the change of the human species. But if we're operating on a grid that was presented to us in our own organic forms, right now we need to declare that we're not going to allow these things to come into our life. We're not going to allow it to leak into us. We're going to be more aware of what's going on around us. And this stuff in our environment, man, it's important. We need to be watching our environment. We need to know what's happening. We need to have little small magnets maybe in our environment to pull up little things in the grass. And we need to become our own scientists in these situations. So thanks for tuning in. This is a report.
Borg, the most intimidating antagonists in the Star Trek universe. To them, your free will is irrelevant. You will be assimilated, meaning you will be captured against your will. As they inject you with Borg nanoprobes, you will lose muscle control of your body. You will then be taken to an assimilation chamber. You will not be put under as they drill into your skull and install the first cortical implant. You will simply be unable to move. There is nothing you can do. The cortical implant will sift through your memories, knowledge, hopes, fears, strengths, and weaknesses, so they will know how you can best serve the collective. They will then begin removing and replacing parts of your body with Borg implants, methodically, efficiently. You will be aware of everything that is happening to you. They need your consciousness to be intact, fresh for now. If they replace all of your free will too quickly with the serene chorus that is the collective, there is no benefit to them. They would not benefit from your cognitive gifts of innovation, creativity, and all of the things that allow you, and by proxy your civilization, to benefit in advance. In time, you will become one with the Borg. Resistance is futile. You may think that this is disturbing, but that isn't even the half of it. Sure, this is all horrifying in and of itself. However, there is something about the Borg in particular that bothers us all, that tugs at our subconsciousness. For some time, people have been coming up with extravagant theories about the origins of the Borg. I'm here to educate you on why, based on real-life observations. Almost all of these theories are either wrong or completely missing the point. In fact, they miss the point so spectacularly, it reveals a huge blind spot in our thinking. That's a real problem, and hopefully you'll soon understand why. To begin theorizing about the origins of the Borg, let's establish a few things about what we know of the Borg in Star Trek. First, they are ancient, although their exact age is unknown, as there are contradicting statements in Star Trek about this. Guinan says thousands of centuries, while the Vaudoir put them at about 1,000 years, but this is all irrelevant. One theory that has been going on for a while is that the Borg were created by V'ger, the powerful superintelligence shown in Star Trek the Motion Picture. However, V'ger viewed humanoids or carbon-based units as an infestation rather than a commodity. The whole vibe of V'ger is far too indifferent for that to have been the source of the Borg. Another recent one that has popped up is that the Romulans created the Borg, based on the behavior seen in the recent Star Trek series Picard. Now that the first season of Picard has concluded, there is no real indication of this theory. However, I can see where many got on this track, since the Romulans next, and they all ignore the real reason the Borg are so damn disturbing to us, which hopefully I can elucidate. Aside from my belief that it's unlikely the Romulans are really all that anti-AI, I myself believe that sentient AI is not really the problem. Sentient AI would have all the gifts of an enlightened human would have, including curiosity, empathy, and even creativity, something like Data, who with some help evolved to learn all of these traits. Dumb AI is programmed for a singular purpose and is unaware of the possibility of anything else. It's like the AI paperclip theory. If you have a powerful AI whose singular purpose is to make as many paperclips as it can, with ever-improving efficiency, then eventually it's going to maraud through the world and turn everything in its path into paperclips until you expand your knowledge, not necessarily that which is true, and especially not your free will. This AI is driven by the groupthink of the collective. However, this in and of itself is still only one element of where I'm going with this. The idea of a cyborg is nothing new, and you can argue that some of us are cyborgs today. Society. Let's push things even further. The collective consciousness of our society, through the help of AI, is learning what is most efficient and what is not, and gradually relinquishes superfluous thinking or behavior that interferes with the efficiency of the whole. For a time. Eventually, one would see the other as a threat to their way of life. A war would ensue. And which do you think would win, the collective or the individuals? It seems to me there isn't much of a contest here. When the collective wins, our society will have been transformed into something not unlike the Borg collective. Coexistence with those outside of the collective is not possible, and resistance to it is not only harmful but futile. Of course, the collective does have one major flaw. When given over to groupthink, there isn't much room for creative and innovative thinking.